Good evening, BlogaFam. It's so nice to have you here with us today, this Thursday evening. We're already nearing the end of the week. Kapit lang and keep hustling, but always remember to take a break. And maybe this is the perfect avenue for you guys to get a much needed rest from all the studying or all the working. And for today's super warm, super special Advice Thursday that's all about adopting fur babies, I am going to be joined by two very special ladies. But before that, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sujin Kim, your host for today's broadcast. Feel free to connect with me on all social media platforms. That's Sujin Kim on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can also find me on Instagram. That's at Sujin C. Kim. Anyway, enough about me. Please join me in welcoming our two beautiful guests, Isa Court and Sandy Justiniano. Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi, good
everyone.
evening.
So nice to have you here. I feel like Miss Sandy is still experiencing a little technical difficulties, but we can proceed. So does anyone want to introduce themselves first? Any opening spiel to our blog fam? Miss Isa, you might want to go first.
Yes, hello, good evening, everyone, BlogaFam, and thank you for having me back.
Ayan, so nice to meet you. I feel, oh, Miss Sandy left us, but okay, she's going to reconnect in a while. So maybe we can go ahead with our program. So I want to know before anything else, how did you get started with content creation? Because I've been looking, wow, I see your dog. I've been looking at your Instagram profile and it's so amazing. And I just want to know how you got into it.
hmm Yeah, actually, I am personally an enthusiastic person and I am multi passionate and inquisitive. So I started determining the direction that I wanted to take. And at first, I was hesitant because I was a type of person who was somewhat shy, but then I love influencing people. And also, in the terms of creating contents and by the means of entertainment and creating informative ideas, I know I can help cater the interests of my target people.
I can definitely relate to when you said you were shy. I feel like I'm also a shy person myself, but we really
Mm-hmm.
have to get over, feelings of
Mm-hmm.
shyness just so we can reach out to a lot more people. So that's a
Yes.
really touching and relatable story you have there. I'm curious, since I've seen your dog beside you, how many
Yeah.
fur babies do you actually have, and how long have you had them?
Actually, for now, I have one, and it's Shiro. He's here with me, and I've had him for 6 months now.
All right, I see that
Mm-hmm.
our second super beautiful guest is now here. Miss Sandy, do you want to introduce yourselves to the rest of the blog fam? Oh, she's experiencing a little technical difficulties. We will. Oh, are you here? Oh,
Yeah.
she's here. Okay, it's time for you to have the spotlight. Introduce yourself, please, to our blog fam.
Hi, good evening, and thank you for having me back to Advice Thursday. My name is Sandy, and I'm a former flight attendant of 12 years, turned into a culinarian and mom influencer.
Oh, that's super interesting. A culinarian sounds like an awesome career path. I feel like I'm on the receiving end. I love eating. But before that, can I also ask the same question I asked Miss Isa earlier? How did you actually get into content creation?
What was the question?
How did you get into content creation?
The content creation, actually just an accident. It was just a beautiful accident because my recipe was featured at yummy.ph. And then suddenly I was invited to feature my journey from being a flight attendant and why did I shifted from taking culinary. So after that, nanganak lang siya ng nanganak ng blessing. So I'm just being invited to do live talk show. This is actually outside of my comfort zone. So go lang ako ng go.
That's super interesting, no? You mentioned it's like sweet serendipity, and it's super nice how a lot of things happen in life that we don't expect, but really work out for the better. And
Yeah.
it's something we can want to have we can want to have happen to ourselves, but maybe it takes time. And I don't know, it's amazing. But for my next question, which I also asked Miss Isa earlier, how many fur babies do you have, and for how long have
I
you had them?
actually originally I have two. This was before I had children. My first fur baby was a Chihuahua, and then he suddenly passed away because Chihuahuas' problem are usually, yung tongue nila is always stuck. So, and then after that, I adopted Turkish Angora from a friend. So the reason why I adopted was because I want to emphasize on my kids, the value of, being responsible for somebody else. I want them to, look after somebody in the house. And it's like another member of the family.
I agree. I actually share the same sentiments. Around last year, June, I actually adopted a rabbit, and I also had the same reasoning as you. I said, I want to take care of something that's not myself, or I want to take care of another being, or care for another being that's not just me or my family. So I really understand where you're coming from with this. So after that, my next question is, what made you want to bring them into your family, into your homes? Maybe Miss Isa can start.
Yeah. Actually, sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
No problem. Take your time.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, she disappeared, but the discussion can continue. Do you want to answer first, Miss Sandy?
Okay, like what I've mentioned earlier, I want to, bring in the responsibility to the kids because at the time, my eldest was just like 6 years old or five. I think she's only five. And my second was not even 1 year old. So technically, my youngest grew up with the cat, So I wanted them to, grow up having responsibility at a very young age because they say if you don't impose responsibility on kids, they will never learn. So even if I'm home or not, I know that they're doing their part, in taking care of the cat. So there.
Oh, that's so touching, no? Parang you
And
see
actually,
your
that
kid.
the cat is
Yes.
actually we adopted. I was based abroad there for the last 12 years. Excuse me. I was a flight attendant in the Middle East. So doon ko inadopt yung cat. And then we brought home the cat with us. So that's how we love that cat. Parang hindi namin siya kayang iwan talaga.
Yeah, I agree. Parang nothing can replace that cat, so you just had to bring him, her, home, diba? So, Miss Isa, welcome back. So
yes.
like we were saying earlier, what made you want to bring your fur babies into the family?
Well, actually, at first, I used to buy pets, but then I saw the vlog of Miss Jelly Andres, and I was influenced by her. At first, I was scared, of course, because we know that these dogs or this cats or any kind of pets that were at the foster homes were all heartbroken, and they're in desperate need of home care and love. But then seeing them in their foster homes made me understand that these pets really desperately needed the said attention, and that made me think of why not adopt rather than buy, because we know that adopting pets saves lives, and it makes them feel. It still makes us feel all the unconditional love that we deserve at once that was taken away from them.
Grabe, parang pang Miss Universe. Amazing. So, it's actually nice how you mentioned na I mean not nice, but interesting how you
Mm.
mentioned na a lot of the fur babies that are up for adoption actually experience traumatic experiences or traumatic
Yes.
events in their lives. So a lot of them really need therapy or vets even. So there's a lot of considerations and a lot of financing involved, I would guess. But
Yes.
what made you feel like you were sure that they were worth it? Was there like a specific moment in time where you just looked at your fur babies and said, "Yep, this is it. No matter what I have to do, you're coming home with me." Was there like a specific point like that?
Um, yeah, there was something that when you there are things that whenever you pick on a pet, it is like somewhat a connection. You called it somewhat like a connection that whenever you look into their eyes, you know that yeah, it's you, and you will be the one who will come with me.
Aw, that's so touching. So, Miss Sandy, I actually want to know, like what Miss Isa said, were there things that you considered before you adopted? I mean, I know the purpose was to improve your children's responsibility, sense of responsibility, but what were the things you had to consider before actually doing that or adopting your fur baby?
Before we adopted this cat, we check on her attitude, because usually the problem with um pets that's being passed on from one person to another, they feel heartbroken already because their human mommy keep on abandoning them and passing them to somebody else. So with my story, um, the cat that we adopted, my attitude siya. So she's violent, she's jealous, she don't like other cats around. And I have few friends who also have cats. So one time we get together, the three of us, and suddenly she becomes violent. And upon my research, the reason why they become violent is because of the traumatic experience that they had before, because they're being passed from one human to another. So yun. And aside from that, I had to make sure that she's well vaccinated. I think that's very, very important, especially I have kids around the house. And the commitment. Can I can I be fully committed in giving her the home, a forever home, not just, a temporary home, but a forever home. Because it's like some people say that you're doing more for them, but actually it's like the cat is doing more to us. Iba yung bond when she's there. I can say that she's really something. She's really a part of our family. I cannot imagine na wala talaga siya. Especially my kids, because
Totoo.
practically they grew up together with her. So there.
Totoo. Parang there's this idea na sinasabi ng mga tao na maldita daw pagka, things like that. So I can't imagine yung pagka-maldita plus pagka-violent, how hard it must have been or how tough it must have been initially for you. But like you said, it takes commitment. So I'm giving you so much applause for actually going the extra mile to take care of your cat. Tapos, you
And
mentioned na,
also kasi our cat is nurtured. So when they are nurtured, iba. Iba yung nurtured cat sa hindi nurtured. So I think dun din medyo masungit. Yun lang yung
paano?
observation ka from most
Opo.
of the nurtured cats. Medyo masungit sila. Baka kasi hindi sila nag-hit or something. I don't know. I'm not really expert with cats because it's my first time, owning one. But that's based only on my observation.
Actually, ako nga parang I have this aunt. Meron siyang 7 cats. Tapos, hindi naman sila lahat suplada. So, parang sortihan din. No, it really takes a lot of caring para mag-reflect
Yeah.
din on the cat side to be more malambing with their owners. Tapos you mentioned that you can't imagine how life would be like without your cat. So I want to know, how has your cat helped you during the quarantine? Meron ba?
It really helped us because we get to play around the house. Kasi yung cat ko, bigla na lang siyang tatakbo na akala mo may marathon all of a sudden. Tapos yun pala, she wants to play with you. Kasi most of the time, di ba, they will just eat and then sleep. I don't know, Isa, if you can, if you would
Yes.
agree with me, but they're like that. They're like sleep, tulog, sleep, tulog. Ay, sleep, tulog. I mean, eat, tulog, ganun lang. Tapos most of the time, they will just hide. Tapos biglang tatakbo ng napakabilis. Ano ba, may nakikita ka bang hindi ko nakikita? Or alam mo yun? Pero actually,
Opo.
they just want to play. Tapos magro-roll over, yung pala magpapalambing. So yun. So
Ang
we
cute
really had
naman
so
po.
much fun in the house during quarantine kasi the kids, they don't really need much entertainment. They just need to play with, one another. But actually, technically, that's how we spend our childhood, diba? We just play with our cousins or our siblings.
Ang cute naman, parang yung cat niyo punong-puno ng energy para mag-zoomies, parang kain, tulog,
I
takbo,
know.
kain, tulog, takbo.
On and off, biglang tatakbo, biglang, wala ka sa mood today. Like
Hindi naman
that.
po mangat-ngat, parang kain ng cable charger, ganon.
Ah, no, she's not like that, but she likes to scratch.
Oh, no. Hindi ba masakit yun? Parang nakakasugat pag nagsuscratch yung
Kaya
cat.
you always have to trim their nails para they don't get to scratch stuff. Pag ganon, they need to have a scratch pad talaga para masanay sila na yung i-scratch nila is yun lang, hindi sila maninira ng gamit.
Ganun
Kasi
pala yun.
with
Parang
me, inalaw ko siyang i-scratch yung sofa namin. Sabi ko, sige na nga, i-scratch mo na.
sa'yo na yan.
Oo,
Parang
sa'yo na,
territory
dyan ka
na.
masaya eh. So,
Okay,
inalaw ko
whatever
na
makes
siya.
you happy. Ang cute, ang
Well,
cute.
kasi naman abroad naman yung bahay namin before, so okay lang, iiwan ko lang din naman yung sofa pag umuwi kami. So, inayaan ko lang siya.
May pagka-social din no? Parang sa iba scratch pad lang. Sa inyo sofa.
Oh my
Wow.
God. Nasimulan na kasi, so, para ano pang po-stop mo siya na damage mo na eh.
True, true. Para kayo naman, Miss Isa, how has your dog helped you during this quarantine?
Yes, katulad nung kay Miss Sandy, same thing, na meron kaming playmate, and it helps us to reduce yung stress since hindi nga tayo masyadong pwedeng lumabas during these times. So, isa sila sa dahilan kung bakit meron tayong or nalilibang tayo in a day. And also, nagkakaroon ng tight knit bond with your family and also yung sa pet mo kasi nga 'di ba meron kang kalaro and you feel yung devotion and yung affection na hinahanap mo especially during these days wherein kulang tayo sa social interaction. So,
Yes.
yun. Mhm.
Parang kapag lonely, pipick upin mo lang yung dog tapos super hug, ganun. So
Mhm.
cute.
Yes.
So cute. You mentioned that you got your dog from a friend, pero can you recommend any shelters or adoption homes which our BlogaFam should try to check out? Meron ba?
Yes, in my case kasi I adopted my pet at a Potion Project where Miss Jelly got her pet as well. So, yeah. Siguro they can try. I've been in that place and sobrang kukulit ng mga pets doon. And nakakatuwa silang tignan. Kung pwede lang kunin mo lahat, but syempre you have to consider also your financial status, di ba? Kasi hindi naman lahat kaya mo naman buhayin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totoo. So, ayun, BlogaFam, you've heard it from Miss Isa herself. Check out Passion
Passion project.
Project, Passion
Yes.
Project. Super nice wordplay, no? Pero it's also nice how you mentioned na you got into adoption via an influencer. It really shows how much influence that some people have and how we can learn new things from influencers themselves. So, was there a point na you thought, ako rin, I'm gonna do what she did so that I could inspire other people to do the same? Was there a point now you did that, you considered that, or do you want to consider doing that in the future just to advocate for adoption of fur babies?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have. Since I am a pet lover personally, so why not? Since I love doing content creations and I'm interested na makakuha ng mga target persons wherein I can leave my mark in their heart. So why not also um, yung sa adoption of pets be one of my influences?
Aw, true. Parang you can add it to your legacy. You know, I've always believed na it's a nice principle to have if you let other people walk away as better people having met you or having heard from you. Pero kayo, Miss Sandy,
Mm-hmm.
do you also have the same sentiments as Miss Isa, or do you have anything else in mind?
Actually, for me, I'm not really in favor of buying pets kasi I feel bad for the pets. I feel like their humans are just using them to, as an extra profit. So even in when I was still abroad, we already have I'm a member of the group na we rescue cats. Actually most cats kasi ang dami talagang stray cats in the Middle East. So we feed cats, sometimes nanghihingi pa ng donation because some cats need operation, deworming, vaccines and all that. So yun. And then I have some colleagues na mag-ask na they wanted to buy actually a cat or a dog. I always tell them that no, don't buy. For me, it's better to adopt. Kasi there are so many, homeless pets na they needed a home.
Totoo, BlogaFam. So that's why you should definitely consider homing or rehoming for babies who have no homes. Kasi it's really sad when you think about it. And oh, according to Blogapalooza, we'll be having a live about Caution Project tomorrow. So that's
Wow.
definitely exciting.
Yay.
And yay! So it's it's all coming to a light na, no? Parang we started from Advice Thursday talking about adoption of fur babies. Tapos tomorrow we're gonna be talking about Caution Project. So, it's time na we rehome so many fur babies. And parang your visit with BlogaFam today really helped in homing or rehoming a lot more fur babies. So I guess another question I can have is if you could have a go at it again or if you could redo it, would you still choose to adopt? Sorry. Or what would you do different? Does anyone want to start? Miss Sandy, maybe you could go first.
For me, definitely, with a heartbeat, talagang mag-a-adopt ako. Kasi I grew up in a home na talagang we grew up with pets. So even when I was still small, talagang I'm around in an environment na madaming pet. We are encouraged to have a pet at home. So that's why when I started having children, I want them to be like that as well, to have that kind of childhood na they're encouraged to, have a fur baby or any pet that they want.
Pero diba there are a lot of households na parang they discourage parang
Yeah.
meet getting a stray cat. Parang what's your advice for children or teenagers or people in general who aren't allowed? Hello! So cute! So sorry. What's your advice for people in general most households aren't really encouraging of the idea of parang homing a stray cat or a stray dog.
I think we should stop that mentality kasi the problem with some people, which this is just based on my observation, mas gusto nila yung mga may breed. You know, owning a pet is not a symbol of social status. Alam mo yun, yun na yung napapansin ko, like, why you have to bring your cat outside because it's a Shih Tzu? Alam mo yun, kailangan mong i-display. Alam mo bang ayaw ng mga pets na kinikerry sila because they feel suffocated? Alam mo yun? Tapos dadali mo sila sa, parang it's not a status symbol. Alam mo yun? If it's not really in your heart to, to commit your time and your love to a pet, then don't do it. Because you're just going to leave them heartbroken again. And you don't know how traumatic it is for them because they cannot speak for themselves.
Agree. Parang they aren't objects na we should label as high-end or low-end. So parang
Yeah.
porket may breed, dapat yun na lang. So we have to give chance to other fur
You know,
babies.
let me just
Shih
share.
Tzus.
When I was
Yeah.
still abroad, there are so many stray dogs there. Stray dogs, yung mga parang askal na itsura dito sa Pilipinas. You know what? We are sending those dogs to US kasi walang gusto mag-adopt in the Middle East. Pero kasi actually ang mentality ng mga Arabo is they cannot home a dog. They prefer cats. So that's the mentality over there. So our group, yung mga shelter ng pets doon, they are looking for white people, European people, and these people are the one who's sending those dogs overseas. Imagine mo, askal napupunta ng US, napupunta ng Europe, tapos dito sa Pilipinas, hindi sila pinapansin. So
Totoo.
nakaka-amaze lang, diba? Nakaka-amaze lang. Kasi sila nga wala silang pakialam sa breed eh. Pero they are willing to, spend the fortune just to bring those pets abroad.
Totoo. It really parang shows us na we have to value more animals
Every life,
regardless of
whether what they look like. Diba? Para ano lang din yan eh. Whether you're Asian, you're American, or you're black, you should love all.
Opo. It applies to animals as well. That's so touching that you mentioned that. Pero kayo, Miss Isa, do you have anything to add?
Tulad nga ng sabi ni Miss Sandy, kasi di ba, dapat we are willing to live and cope with the pet's lifestyle. Di ba? It's a lifetime commitment kasi eh. Hindi porket, yung iba kasi cute, di ba? Pag tuta, cute, then pag malaki na, itatali na, hayaan mo na. So, sana hindi na lang ganon yung mangyari in the future. And since we are having this kind of influence, I'm sure na marami tayong natutulungan, and I'm sure na maraming natututo sa mga advices na naririnig nila here.
Actually, I'm curious. Nakita niyo na po ba yung parang animals or dogs na nasa bag? Tapos parang may butas yung bag na you can see them, parang see-through. What's your opinion or what's your take on those?
Actually, for me, it's not for me. It's not. If you wanted to have your dogs out, siguro, it's much better na itali nyo na lang sila. Actually, hindi kasi ako personally talaga nagtatali ng dog. But if you wanted to be with them out, itali nyo na lang sila kaysa ilagay nyo sila sa basket or ilagay nyo sila sa bag or whatsoever. Let them walk. Meron naman silang paa and they can roam around. Diba? Kaya nila. They can walk, they can run, they can play, they can do whatever they want.
Yes. Kayo po, Miss Sandy. Do you also agree?
Super agree.
What's your take?
Super agree. Like what I said earlier, no, they feel suffocated kapag hinahawakan sila. Alam mo yung parang you're controlling them. Kaya I really don't agree with that. They're not stuffed toys. They also have a life. Alam mo yun?
Exactly. Opo. Naging aesthetic po yung yung nakabag, parang for picture-taking purposes. Parang a lot of the things become picture-taking purposes. So you really have to be conscious of how it affects our fur babies talaga, definitely. So is
And I
there,
think we also have
sorry.
to be careful on what we are implying on the future generation. Alam mo yun? Baka akala nila status symbol din yung mga aso. But if you educate them na hindi, dapat mahalin mo sila kung anong itsura nila, kahit ano pang breed nila. I think we should start doing that. Because my generation is different. Iba, yun talaga yung ginagawa nila eh. So I think we should do that now.
Opo. That's a very powerful statement to advocate for, and I definitely agree. And I'm sure our blog of will also agree with you with that. Ikaw, Miss Isa, do you have any principle or something to share with our blog of
Um, Siguro yun, when it comes na lang sa pets, hindi naman ako tutol sa pagbebenta, pero kasi we have seen naman sa news na merong ibang sinasabi na parang yung nagbe-breed sila ng sa pilitan para lang makapagbenta
Opo.
sila ng pets, and then kapag in this case naman sa sobrang dami ng pets, napapabayaan na sila sa kalye, then wala na. Then ang mangyayari, mapupunta sa lahat sila sa foster homes, tapos wala na. So, yun. Siguro, sabi nga nila, di ba, sa mga foster homes, adopt na lang, di ba? Adopt, don't shop.
Exactly. Adopt, don't shop. Kasi some breeders, I'm not saying all breeders, pero there are some breeders talaga who treat their dogs as parang input na lang to generating income, as you mentioned. So it's parang capitalism, parang makikita mo yung photos of dogs na parang kawawa na, parang nagbago na yung shape ng body nila kasi lagi silang ginagamit for breeding, for mating, tas manganak ng manganak. Hello! So
Say hi,
cute.
Shiro.
Hi! You're so precious. You have such a loving mom. You're so lucky. Amazing. So anyway, just to, maybe wrap things up, where can our BlogaFam follow you and see more of your fur babies? Maybe you want to shout out? Maybe Miss Isa can go first.
Yes, if you wanted to see more of me, just follow me on my social media accounts. Here's the link at Isaverse, and also I have a YouTube channel, Isaverse Vlogs. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kayo naman, Miss Sandy, where can our BlogaFam find you?
I forgot to write it earlier. Anyway, guys, if you want to see more of my previous life as a flight attendant and my journey to be a certified chef, and also I'm now based in Baguio, so I'm also encouraging people to move to Baguio. So you can check out my stories and my posts at Mama Mumblings. Thank you.
Ayan, thank you. I like how you mentioned that you're encouraging everyone to go to Baguio. I actually also want to go to Baguio just to
Yeah,
try
because
strawberry
nature
taho.
is nakaka-happy talaga ang nature dito.
Nature din. Pero pagkain po talaga yung una kong inisip. Pues, strawberry shortcake po ata yung
Actually,
sikat sa
halo-halo
Baguio.
na siya eh. Travel, nature, food, and everything. Kasi I'm
Amazing.
currently doing I'm featuring so many restaurants here that you should visit if you plan to go to Baguio. So I'm doing reviews. Actually, I'm doing that when I was still flying. Even yung mga pinupuntahan ko sa mga iba-ibang bansa. Kasi mahilig ako mag-food photography. So I think that's the reason why I went also to culinary after flying. So yun, so since I'm not flying anymore, but yung adrenaline ko to explore so many places is still there. Hindi na siya mawawala sa sistema ko. So I have to do it here because that's what makes me happy talaga. And I'm not going back to Manila. I think this is gonna be my home for now because after being abroad for a decade, parang allergic na ako sa Manila. Kaya this is like a dream come true for me to be in Baguio. And the people are so nice. Ang dami
Totoo
ko na
po.
sinabi, you can
No,
but you
go
can
lang
catch
po.
those stories in my Instagram.
Actually, tuloy-tuloy niyo po yan, please. Kasi I'm actually a person who enjoys watching parang food vlogs or looking at food
Yeah.
photography. Feel ko nga, nalobo
Mahihain
na nga
kasi
ako
ako
dahil
nung
doon.
mahihain kasi ako nung flying pa ako, hindi din ako nagpo-post ng mga selfie kasi feeling ko nagpa-flooding ako. Tapos eventually, dumating siya sa akin. So sabi ko, okay, go.
Okay, go. Exactly. That's parang a motto you can have. But okay,
Mm-mm.
go. Super, super nice. I will definitely check out both of your channels. It's so amazing to have you here on our broadcast with BlogaFam, Blogapalooza, Blogga Live. So that is all the time we have for today's Advice Thursday, actually. Thank you so much for being here with me, BlogaFam, and of course our very special guests, Miss Sandy and Miss Isa. I'm sure so many people have been inspired by the stories you shared and the advice you gave. I actually felt the fuzzies all over my heart when I saw your dog and when you were talking kanina. So it's super warm to listen to the both of you. And if you wanna get in touch with our guests for today, they mentioned na where you can find them. So feel free, BlogaFam, to message them anywhere on their social media platforms and to really support each other. So again, thank you so much for spending this evening with us. This has been Sujin Kim, your host for today's Advice Thursday. Feel free to connect with me on almost every social media platform. That's Sujin Kim on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and at Sujin Kim on Instagram. Good night, everyone. Thank you so
Bye.
much,
Thank
Blogger
you.